What is up, my friends, and welcome back. We are here in the conclusion of week 3 for some NECC Overwatch. My name is Jeff, alongside Chef Billy. Before we get into our final match of the night, I just want to remind you, now would be a great time to follow us on Instagram, X, and YouTube. We will send you updates and info to keep you active on all things NECC. And, well, while you're doing that, Billy, what do we got coming up here for this last match of the night?
Well, we got somebody that I know at least from CGL, producer over there, is the coach for SFU, the Racoons. Boom Diata, hello, also known as Precocious there in the lobby. But you know what? We got a couple of 1-1 teams here for the last game of the night. And this is going to be a battle to see who's going to get themselves into the positive territory and who's going to have to be playing a little bit of catch-up here in week number 3, or going into week number 4, I'm sorry. So we'll go ahead and take a look at said roster. From SFU, the Racoons, we've got Zephyr, Dongman, Blunder, Zaps, and Akasha starting out your 5 here.
Yeah, a wide variety of years and age ranges here in this roster. So it's notably, we've got Akasha and Dongman, both freshmen. So a little bit of newcomers coming in. That's going to be support and DPS role respectively, I believe. And then Blunder will be leading the charge, the junior on this squad, in the tank role. So be counting on that leadership to lead Simon Frazier, see if they can pull us their second win of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what the youngsters can bring to this squad. And I mean, Simon Frazier out of Canada, obviously. We are looking to see what our friends from the North can do here up against this ASU squad. Arizona State University, our good friend Twin Salty, caster friend of ours, attends there. He knows the upper squad, but does not know the Inferno. So we'll take a look at their roster here. It's Tipster, Zoana Nova, No Limit, and H2D Aqua. And, well, we'll see what they can bring to this. And I was looking through them, and Tipster is actually a supply chain management major. And, you know, having worked at Amazon in the past, I know how these things go. Very interesting, very technical field. So we're hoping that Tipster can bring that kind of know-how and technical fortitude to the game today and onto the battlefield. We'll see how they actually turn this around and see what they can bring, getting themselves to 2-1.
Yeah, this squad is a bit interesting. It's they're all brand new to competing. And here at the ASU second squad, of course, the varsity squad, I mean, top 20 in the country as far as collegiate Overwatch is concerned. So they've got some strong leadership to draw on. But see how this new squad can build their synergy coming out in this first season competing together. With that said, let's battle of snow and ice here in our first map. Let's see where they will battle. In map 1, it was Anarch Peninsula that was banned out by ASU, and, well, Simon Frazier have chosen Linjiang Tower to start us off.
I like it. I like it. I mean, it is a comfort pick. The fact that they get rid of Antarctic Peninsula in the beginning means that they probably want to play around with the May or the Symmetra and the Bastion. That plays very well on all 3 points here in China. So we'll see how this is actually going to go down. Simon Frazier, you know, they are 1-1. They had a reasonable first week. It was pretty competitive for them, but on the other side, the Inferno got themselves a pretty decent win, and I think that they will be looking to build upon what they did in week number 2, and we'll see how this actually will play out here, as we're going to go ahead and start out on Gardens.
Meta has been in such an interesting place. This can be very indicative. Oh, Hippie Precocious says hi. There you go. That's our wonderful producer behind the scenes. You know, it's just it's producers kind of connecting there. You know what? Precocious Hippie says hi back. So there you go. Any fans? Send the message along. We're going to kick off this final match of week 3 with Little Chonker Queen versus a Sigma.
I like it. I mean, we're going in with the Symmetra v. the May. So we're going to see which kit gets the better utility. You can move the Bastion around a lot quicker with the Symmetra, but you can cordon off people with that wall. It's so damn important.
Yeah, Question will be, can Nova survive the onslaught of the Bastion without the shield, without the kinetic grasp that the Sigma provides? Good wall, but Blunder's able to sneak around it, maintain some heals, and find some cover. Zephyr's going to go and drop the whales. A wonderful disruptor shot. That just put the Inferno kind of scrambling, and Zephyr's able to pick Zoana off in the madness. Now Zephyr looping around, that wall's gonna crack, and it's just open seas in front of the back line. Nova decided that they're on the hunt as well, but that one kill won't be enough.
No, but I mean, he's absolutely using the amp speed, getting the work done, and getting the environmental kill as well. So
nice rock.
God, so good. Their first fight from SFU. It's Boom Diata, by the way, Hippie. That's who Precocious is as the coach for this SFU. Once again, the rock plus the grenade gets the work done. The Hypersphere is finishing off Nova, and that's going to be a stagger. They're going to have to wait at least a good 10% here, Jeff, before they can get back into it. And look at the Baptiste. Once again, Baptiste is such an integral part of this Bastion comp. The healing comes out so damn strong. Window already ready.
And not just that, we're going to have that artillery strike ready on the other side. So H2O is going to be have to be careful where they put down this amplification matrix. Good wall there. Blunder can be in a lot of trouble. Immortality just in time from Akasha. And now the amplification matrix here from the SFU Racoons. That's going to pick up one. Zaps actually finding a kill out of the opposing Lucio. Overclock from Dogman to try to close this thing out. Send the Inferno pack. But Nova's coming screaming into your face. The Zawana's low in the back. Gets the extra healing from that shout. And is just playing it safe. Back behind that amplification matrix still. Akasha's able to find that kill. I believe through the window. Dogman in trouble. Immortality field out. And a late Rampage finds 3 here from Nova. One's gonna fall, but kills continue to go back and forth. Nova takes down Akasha as well again. Akasha struggling to survive in this fight, but Nova's the only one left here.
I mean, look at this coming in. I mean, you've got the artillery strike. I mean, this point is still being contested right now. Flux online. You get the kill on Zephyr. It's back and forth. They're actually going to invest the Flux, Jeff.
That sound barrier was a little early, and so all of that will get taken away immediately, but still, it's enough to keep the supports alive. Blunder's investment falls on deaf ears.
Well, we're going to see now with both DPS ultimates here for the Inferno, they can actually really retard the aggression coming in from SFU on this far swinging left side through White Room. I want to see what Zaps does. Do they go aggressive with this sound barrier? I mean, they can definitely do it. They've got the Blizzard upcoming. You've got some options here, though.
A good kinetic grasp would be ideal for Blunder, but still the sound barrier in the pocket has to be saved for that Blizzard. Looking for an opening kill with the Meteor Strike, the Artillery Strike, rather. A little bit of damage done, but not enough to find a final blow. Here comes the counterpunch, but No Limit dies. Dogman finds that kill just before sliding out of the way. Unreal shot. Zephyr just decimates the opposition, sacrifices themselves to do so. The Blizzard is late into this fight, and there's just not enough punching power to follow up.
Yep, I mean, this is the power of the Sigma. You have the kinetic grasp, gets you that overhealth. You've got the CC with the rock. I mean, everything working in their favor. The flip comes back at 85%. You've got the sound barrier. Zaps was very, very stingy with pressing the Q button. And for their patience, they get a window out of it as well.
They know the Tracer's coming. Hipster's gonna try to get across. Oh, the boom! Oh, the boom from Zaps! What a read! This is not your house! Zaps says, get out of here! Into the sea with you! The Racoons take round 1.
Swimming with the Kois. That's gotta be... I need an album from like the Overwatch heroes that said, Swimming with the Kois. Seriously, that was fantastic read there from Zaps. And yeah, that wins the fight. No shot that they're going to be able to get anything done on the back of that, and I mean, they win this out. And right now, you know, I'm going to be looking at Nova. You know, will Nova be able to withstand the pressure that this Sigma that has certainly come into high favor here recently? Will they be able to withstand the pressure and the CC and all the kit that a Sigma brings to it? And can they handle Zaps? Because Zaps is having a very fun time right now, my friend.
Oh, especially in that final play. I mean, it's a good read. You know, it wasn't the hardest read that they're going to try to cut through there, but indeed the Inferno managed to mount, I mean, almost 4 players that went to the teleporter, if not everybody but the Tracer. So it would have been a really solid last fight. Clutch, boop. No changes out of Nova as we head into Control Center, sticking with the Junker Queen May composition. Already that wall has been thrown up. It's going to be Zephyr just putting down damage, keeping everybody at bay for the moment, but Zephyr's eventually melted down, and Nova gets aggressive into behind Blunder, and that's a at least 2 on the back of it, both with the Jagged Blade. Oh, Dogman? Uh-oh.
You're done. You're in trouble. I'm in danger. That's a great first fight, though. And I thought that it was going to be too early of a wall coming out from Tipster, but they saved the commanding shout, and they let Nova get super aggressive. They saved the amp speed to get him on top, pulls the immortality field out, and just absolutely decimates him.
Oh, what a wall to prevent Blunder from using the grasp to get into a better position. It leaves Zephyr just out to dry. And yeah, Blunder is just not going to be able to get out of there. Good hold here from the Inferno, and they have this very difficult choke under control.
Oh, I mean, late staggers coming through as well, Jeff. So this is what I'm looking at right now. I think that they need to feed and really play into Nova being aggressive, getting up in Blunder's face, using that wall to stop the escape.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to do with the Blizzard. Somehow it got through. I mean, Blunder was ready for it, but Tipster didn't throw it anywhere near them. So the Kinetic Grasp not able to gobble it up, and Blunder ends up back in the spawn yet again.
Spawn, the wall was perfectly timed. They threw it against the wall, and so that's why it doesn't get eaten. It's out of the AoE of the Kinetic Grasp. So now they have the wall back up on cooldown. Can you catch them? Here comes the right-hand rotation coming up from SFU. Definitely getting the call to try and circumvent this chokehold.
Zephyr could be in a very difficult spot here if they raid it off the outside. That Rampage is going to get 4. There's no sound barrier yet. It's trying to respond with the Gravitic Flux or the Racoons, but just don't find anything. Sound barrier late from No Limit just to solidify this on the back of that monstrous Rampage.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, No Limit did invest the sound barrier into that fight, but I think that you go ahead and take that at 85% and counting. The DPS ultimates just came online. You're going to have to invest to try and pull some kind of chokehold out of this.
Oh, brilliant. Artillery strike just to slow him down. Okay, here comes the response the other direction. Only 5 seconds for somebody to touch, and there's already 2 Racoons down. The Lucio speeds in. Zaps dies. Manages to get a toe on point, but there's just nobody left. We're tied up. We're headed to Night Garden to determine who wins map 1.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Tipster definitely redeemed themselves here. Gardens is such a hard map to play as the May because there's so many different little sneaky holes to get onto the point. Control Center, a lot more regimented as far as how you get yourself onto the point, Jeff. The other thing is the timing of it. Their timing just seems to be a little bit more crisp here in Control Center, and the coordination definitely was there, and the aggression. They definitely fed into Nova, being able to be that playmaker, taking the space and controlling it.
I can see why Nova stuck with the Junker Queen as well. This freshman looked absolutely unstoppable on the Australian tank there in round number 2, and Blunder is going to switch to match.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but I mean, first point presence is going to be gotten by Simon Fraser here. So, oh my God, an early kill from Nova. Hello, right out the gate.
Nova is so lethal with these Jagged Blades. Landed one on a Blunder there. I've almost pulled him to the wrong side of the wall. Oh, man, this is looking dangerous for Racoons. They are backpedaling so much. Inferno now speeding out, and it's just back against the wall here for SFU. No Limit looking to see if they can put some off the map. Blunder is going to rotate around towards the middle. Now, has to just hold this door, but there's no way for SFU to get through this.
Oh, man, I mean, that kill came so fast, Jeff, that the turrets was never even set up. That's how quickly that Gracie pulled Dongman in. So, I mean, first capture percentage here, 50% counting. They're going to go to the back and try and turn it around the Great Wall.
I don't know if there was enough reinforcements here. I think only 2, maybe 3 got through. No, Zap should be able to get back on. Oh, Zephyr's going to fall under the shots from Zawada. Lucio took a moment to get back into this fight, and SFU struggling to find entrance still onto this point. The Inferno had this on absolute lock. Akasha playing DPS back out of the backfield. The grenade will force out that immortality field, and Nova's going to push outside. It's crossing amplification matrices here on the back of Night Guard in a very claustrophobic, chaotic fight. But it's still advantage to the Inferno until that Rampage finds a pair. Immortality field keeping the Inferno alive through this for the moment, but it is gone, and Dogman is free to melt your squad.
Oh, what a good fight there. What a great Rampage that came out from Blunder. Saying, you know what, Nova, anything you can do, I can do better. And Nova actually invested their own Rampage into that, so they don't have to worry about that going into this fight. So this is going to be some significant progress being made by SFU here. And they've got a sound barrier. And they've got both DPS ultimates. This is really going to prevent a lot of damage coming in, especially when Tipster lets out this blizzard. You put the photon barrier out there. Yes, you're going to be frozen up, but the collateral damage will be negated.
Ooh, Blunder in tough spots. The artillery strike, I think, trying to protect, but it's late. Took too long. Sound barrier now out, and the Inferno will rush forward and try to take back the objective, using an artillery strike of their own to get in. Sound barrier from Zaps fades, and the Inferno are left just waiting for the photon barrier to go down. Does give SFU time to get their tank back into this fight, but the Inferno are going to push the go button. Zephyr gets stuck on the back, and the rest of the Racoons just have to flee.
I mean, and Jeff, they get to hold on to the blizzard. So, I mean, the photon barrier, the whole thing that I set up, gets just absolutely shut out. Bye-bye, Akash. Bye-bye, Dongman. And now it's 69% and counting. Blunder's going to go too. What a great aggression. What a great amp speed going into that.
Oh, and what impressive use of the Jagged Blade. I feel like if Nova catches you with that thing, you are just dead. There's no get out of jail free. There do not pass go. You are just dead straight to spawn.
Please give me comms. Please give me comms of the landing of Gracie there. Pulling him back in. I want to hear it. Nice rotation though.
Yeah, but Ant Matrix was just ready for it. Blizzard coupled with it, and there's just nowhere for SFU to go. The Inferno had a plan, and they executed brilliantly. They come back, take the final 2 submats at Lijiang Tower to start off our series with a 1-0.
I mean, we're here in the Champions West, and I mean, it is a wild, wild West, and I think that we have a series on our hands. If this continues to go back and forth, Nova has shown that they are a very formidable Junker Queen. Zaps, the Lucio's unlocked, my friend. The Lucio's absolutely unlocked. Caught him right there. I mean, wasn't even really looking at him. Just kind of pressed the boot button and said bye bye to everybody.
I love the brains on some of these Lucio players. Zaps did a wonderful job of bailing out Dogman on Control Center, just using the Lucio to help them get out of that dangerous spot on the coast side. You can see here the boot back into the Ant Matrix. It was a very dominant first round out of SFU, which is what we're seeing here. But then as soon as we get over into Control Center, everything changes. There's the boot from the outside, though. That was brilliant.
I love the close quarter play here from Nova. I think that they understand, the intricacies of our Australian tank. I mean, that was just a 4-man rampage and just cleaned up on the back of it. And they're using the melee as well. So, like, there's 4 different prongs to this Nova attack. You've got the blade and everything.
And Nova uses it so expertly that the rest of the Inferno take care of Blunder, because Blunder's still on the Sigma, and goes in to try to fight the 1v4, and Nova holds off the entirety of the rest of that SFU squad so that Blunder can't get any healing. Like, there's no resources there, and Nova manages to come up with just a stack of kills single-handedly. Yeah, truly impressive Joker Queen play, and something that SFU are going to have to figure out if they want to try to take anything off of this squad.
I mean, Sun Devil Nation rejoice. They're in Tempe, Arizona. I went to culinary school down there. That's the only reason why I know that mascot and I know where it's at, because they were Scottsdale, Tempe, right next to Phoenix. Yes. Indeed. Love that place. It's such a cool college town. But for SFU, I mean, definitely they have a lot in the tank. So I think that, as we head into the more traditional types of maps, do we see the same compositions coming out? Are we going to look at Dongman on the Symmetra? I'd like to see a Sojourn to be able to kind of
The Sojourn was sick. The
Sojourn was sick. I want to see more of that, because I think that the poke is what really gave a lot of room for pause from this Inferno squad from ASU. So, while, when you go to Night Market, you think, I have to play Symmetra. That's what goes through my mind. I think that the May has really been the kicker. The walls have been absolutely immaculate for the most part. And I think that they're really focusing on the back of that. And they're playing so well into Nova's aggression and just the timing of the cooldowns, my friend. So darn good. We'll see how they move through the rest of the map types.
I mean, playing Joker Queen into a Bastion is no easy feat by any stretch of the imagination. And Nova is able to pull it off nicely there. But it will be SFU's map pick as we head into our second game type, which will be hybrid. And looks like we're headed to good old Kings Row. Interesting choice, because I might have anticipated that SFU wanted to play a little bit more of that poke style that you're referring to, but they took us to a very close quarters map here in Kings Row.
But Sojourn works so well here, and the reason why is because you have the mobility. You can set up kill boxes opposite of the rest of your team as long as you have the healing resources. We saw the Zaps really does manage the amps very well. So I think that I can see where they're going with this, Jeff, is because they are trying to use a little bit more mobility to get the DPS players around. Also, looking at what we're seeing from Nova. Nova, if you can figure out a way to kind of cut off the three-headed dog there, I think that you can actually really make Nova pay. And I think that the answer to that is not Bastion Symmetra. I think it's Mei Bastion. I think that they need to counter with a Mei of their own. Is it in the wheelhouse? I don't know. But we'll see if Dongman can bring it out. Late substitution in from their normal starter. I need to go ahead and preface this. Coming in last minute. So, what they did get done, super impressive when you weren't expecting to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's SFU unfortunately did not get the starting five they were hoping for. They had some kind of complication, but they're giving it their all, and it was definitely a very competitive map one. We'll see how they answer the Junker Queen out of Nova. So okay, we're just gonna go off the assumption that Nova's gonna pull out the JQ again. We saw it in all three maps, typical sub maps of Lijiang Tower where maybe you don't see a Junker Queen. All three maps we saw that from Nova. So let's move forward with that assumption. What do you do if you're SFU? So we're going to a close quarters map. I wonder, are they going to try to play the Sigma and the Poke again and keep distance and play high ground and approach this map that way? That is certainly a thing, particularly when we're going to see them start on defense. Or do they try to match the Junker Queen again, Billy?
Well, they get their player now. They have their starter. Dongman is out and Arc is in. So now they have their five that they were planning on starting with. So I think that this changes the tenor of the conversation that we're going to have here. We need to see what Arc brings to the table. Because Dongman, while they weren't expecting to play Jeff, they had quite a few crucial kills there during Lijiang Gardens, Lijiang Gardens. They kind of got owned on Control Center and Night Market, but you know what? You've got your starting five now that we were expecting coming out from them. So we'll see what the defense here from SFU is going to be. Inferno decided that they want to come out with the attack. You are a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of the defense. And, we'll see what they bring out here. Nova's actually flashing us the Orisa. I don't know if that's going to stay or not, but there's the Sojourn that I was looking for.
Yeah, and Blooder has decided to stick with the Sigma on defense. Now the question is, do they want to go high ground with this Sojourn Bastion Sigma setup, or are they going to kind of split it in half? A lot of times we'll see the Sojourn split off with the Lucio, and the Baptiste Bastion and the Sigma kind of stay together. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I'm anticipating, is that sort of two-pronged setup. Arc on the high ground can be very difficult to dislodge. Inferno do look like they're sticking with this Orisa, though.
It takes space. You can basically walk through the experimental barrier and deny the value of the accretion because you can just fortify, go gold, and it doesn't do anything to you. Yeah, and look at it, it's just so damn aggressive.
It's the threat of the Bastion behind it. Once the fortify is gone and the wheels, the assault mode is gone, there's not much left for the Inferno to work with. They just kind of standing here floundering a bit, and Blunder and Zephyr are gonna move in and clean up. Nah,
that's a bit of hubris there, if I'm completely honest. They tried.
It was a good catch of the cooldowns.
It was.
It was a really good catch.
It was, but I think it's still a little bit of hubris. But we'll see how this actually plays out, because look at Zephyr. Zephyr got all the work done. BT Dubs and Akasha. Matching what H2O Aqua is doing as their counterpart. Early window here from Inferno might be the ticket to unlock this point.
Yeah, and then don't forget about Arc sitting on this high ground. Always a threat on that angle. Arc does eventually drop down back by the phone booth, which might indicate a rotation here. Tipster is going to go ahead. Well, the entire team is just going to rotate up top here from the Inferno.
I like it. No, I say
Oh,
that. And
they got red, though.
Yep, they got red like a book.
Look at this!
Hello?
Hakasha was on stair side. You had Arc all the way across towards window, and then you had Blunder ground level. That was a 3-prong attack. The Inferno just walked out into a blender.
Yeah, they got absolutely Vitamix there. They got Vitamix and they got pureed and strained, and they are a beautiful velvety sauce right now. I only say that because I got a brand new Vitamix at work today, and I'm super happy with it. And I strained a very beautiful Bordelaise sauce. But I say that
spicy.
as we move in. Oh gosh.
The Inferno, spicy, huh? All right.
Okay. I mean, is it devilish though because of the Sun Devils? Nice little rotation from Tipster here, looking to pull and cordon somebody off. The walls have not been so good.
And Matrix to try to stop it. That wall was brilliant. Gravitic Flux from Blunder, though, might be able to shut this down. The Immortality Field's already been taken care of, but without Akasha there, Blunder's just not going to have the sustain. This is very dangerous with only Lucio healing, and any death here means that they won't be able to retake. Blunder's backing up, Arc will fall. Blunder somehow stayed alive for as long as they did, but eventually will fall. It was a javelin, energy javelin, that knocked him into the wall. There will be no recontest.
Did he hyper-sue himself to death, though? I mean, did you really die, or did you kill yourself? That's the question. Flux really didn't get a lot done. As soon as I said something about Tipster's walls, they put out 2 immaculate walls. So I'm sorry, Tipster. I will never yell at you again. But you do have Blizzard and this Terra Surge. So that's a wombo combo that's absolutely
They're not ready for this. They're not ready for this. Zoan has already found Arc immediately. It's an artillery strike from Zephyr, but not sure where quite to use it. It's going to be a sound barrier from the defense. No limit holding on to theirs. Perhaps a mistake, as we see the defense able to hold despite the clever move coming from the Inferno.
And they put out the Blizzard and the Terra Surge, and they get zilch for it. So, I mean, heavy investment here. They don't even get it past Bookstore. So there's an archway hold coming up here for the Racoons. You've got a overclock ready to go. Arc has shown that they have the aim pretty much on lock. You do have a sound barrier here for the Inferno to try and get aggressive with.
That's the only benefit not using it in that last fight. Arc's in the back, overclock, ready to go. Just waiting for somebody to turn the corner, and it was Tipster, the poor sod, that put their head in front of the crossfire of Arc. They don't even need the overclock just yet, as this defense will continue as they eat up more time. Accretion in will stop the javelin spin, and yeah, Zephyr is there with all the damage you need to melt No Limit and the tank too.
God, I mean, what a great sequence of events there, and they still hold on to the overclock, and now they gain the Flux in the interim. I mean, what a great play here from them. That's a beautiful placement of that window coming out of Akasha, getting it done.
Yeah, clean. Very, very clean. Blunder, now with the Gravitic Flux, has been outstanding with them all day. Here comes a massive rush. That is just super speed in from the Inferno, but they get greeted by the overclock from Arc. Zephyr finds the final blow. Blunder still looking for a spot to use the Flux, but doesn't really need it. Blocks the energy javelin, and Tipster is down. So the Sigma composition working out really well here. The aggression from the Inferno just gets stopped in its tracks, Billy. They're so good at catching it.
I mean, it's the management of cooldowns. I mean, as a tank player here in this current meta, you have to have your cooldowns on lock, and that's something that I do not do very well myself on tank. That's why I play DPS now, because I'm old. But you know who isn't old is Blunder, and the shield management as well.
I mean, Blunder has been blocking energy javelins with the shield, using the accretion to take Nova out of javelin spin. It seems like every time that the Inferno try to use the tank cooldowns to get in, Blunder is shutting it down with one of their own with the outplay. Here comes the Terra Surge all the way into the back. It's going to be an artillery strike. Oh, they don't get anything. What a combo. Pulled in and blown to bits.
I mean, but they buy 2 fights of it. 40 seconds left here on the clock to get themselves to the Foundry. They still are facing double support ultimates coming up here from the Racoons. So while they do lose this fight, they just took out 2 massive ultimates from the Inferno. It's beautiful to look at, but now, they have some work to do to get themselves inside the Foundry, Jeff.
Good news for the Inferno is Blunder tried to use the Gravitic Flux as the Terror Surge was coming out, so... Oh, and there it is again! It's the Blizzard that manages to get past that kinetic grass. Sound Barrier will protect everybody else, but without the front line, the SFU team has a difficult choice ahead of them. It does look like they're going to go ahead and try to contest as Zap steps up for that and switch to the Wrecking Ball so the tank can get back in this fight as soon as possible. But Ark's already gone. A good shot there from Zawada. Nova means nobody else is getting away.
Yep, 120 on the clock here, and Inferno really starting to get some good headwinds here coming into this next fight. They was very expensive through those last 2 fights. All 5 ultimates came out, so now you're looking at an overclock. We know that Arc has the aim. They've been doing it with the charge rail shots. Now what are they going to do with the ultimate?
Arc sitting all the way in the back. Really not much to block this, especially onto a squishy. No Limit's close to the Sound Barrier. They have got to get this all in line. 48 seconds and they're running out of time. That's a good kill. Blunder's already down. SFU now struggling to find any safe place to hide. And the Inferno free to build up the rest of their ults.
I mean, this is going to be a capture here, unless Arc can pull out the Lord's work. And Akash down, your main source of healing's gone.
Uh-oh. Nope. The overclock immediately gets shut down the moment they pulled the trigger. It was a beautiful attack there on the back end. Coming out. I mean, that opening kill to take Blunder down just bought them the entire rest of the point.
Okay. Well, we'll see how this is going to turn out. But, I mean, the time bank basically drained to 0. So there's some room here for SFU. And I think that really, I mean, they played so well on the back of Blunder. The management was so good. I think that one wombo combo right around the bookstore is what actually put the spear in the King's back and really got it done. That was the one right there that I think completely shook the Racoons out of their shell.
I mean, it was a phenomenal play. I would say you could also add the very first rotation through Hotel, where they just, everybody threw the haste spell and got double actions and just charged through the Hotel and overwhelmed SFU. And the Inferno really, there was a bit of a stabilization on point B, sure, but that one also was a very impressive move when the Inferno were looking down and out on point A.
Well, the good thing about Hybrid is that everybody gets a chance to attack. And now it's time for the Racoons to show us what they are truly made of here. But no changes out here from the Inferno. We're going to keep everybody what we've seen so far today, except for Nova staking with the Orisa. So can Blunder, once again, overpower and out cooldown this Orisa player?
That's tough to do. But patience is the name of the game here for Blunder on the Sigma. Inferno are going to go ahead and just fall back around the corner. Zephyr going in and use that wheels form early. Blunder, ooh, that's a nasty spear. Blunder tried to hang out just using the immortality field, but it just disappeared and there was no light from that lamp.
I mean, the light went out in their eyes and so did it for Arc as well. And it's done here. So, I mean, 30 seconds off the clock here. We're going to see if there's going to be any changes here, because now would be the time. You know, you still have lots of time on the clock. Do you want to figure out something maybe to try and counter what they're running here? I mean, what do you do against the Nova right now? You need to, take care of the back line first, work from back to front.
On the moment the Amp Matrix comes down, Tipster had Akash's head dialed in. I mean, that was a head-seeking icicle. Immediate death.
It's all going to come down to how fast that Blunder can get this up, get this flux up, because, well, Zaps is nowhere near a sound barrier right now, and No Limit already has it. That's the power of what we are seeing from this Inferno backline.
It seems like the Granite Flux is almost necessary to try to get that Bastion out of there. Look at the wall and push the Ant Matrix into the high ground. Nobody can use it. It's going to be an artillery strike completely negated by a sound barrier from No Limit. Now a Terror Surge sends Blunder back to spawn. And it's going to be just way too difficult to try to push in through with no tank.
Just to note, Javelin Spin takes Blunder out of the Gravitic Flux, so Nova showing the skills not only on the JQ, but now on my beloved Donkey Horse.
Risa is a fun hero, and if you can land those energy javelins, it can be oh so vicious. We know how good Nova was with the jagged blade of Junker Queen. Equally as apt with the energy spheres. Blizzard underneath the kinetic grasp once again. Tipster is just so good at placing these. The sound barrier is pretty good. Nova falls, but an artillery strike seals the deal. Just when you think there's not going to be any follow-up, Zoana shows up.
3 ultimates in the fight. Now Arc is starting to come alive, takes Tipster out of the fight.
Ooh. Still have Zoana as well as H2O Aqua, I believe, down low. Arc is in a bit of trouble. Nice volley of headshots. Oh, no, that wasn't Arc up there. That was a caution. Here comes Arc right up front and personal. Shield out, and Blunter trying to desperately hold this line.
I mean, Zoana is starting to get the damage in. There's the shield. There's the kinetic grasp. And now they're going to have to invest the artillery strike.
No Limit is still 10% away from this sound barrier. About to caught in a corner, somehow avoids the damage from that artillery strike. Great wall, and Blender's in a lot of trouble. Arc goes down as well, and here comes Nova through the hotel to force Zephyr all the way back. This is falling apart for SFU.
I mean, we're at 50 seconds and counting. That sound barrier came up right when you said it was 90%. It went up like 9% in a second. Absolutely massive work from them, and then Kasha is in serious trouble again.
Oh, means they'll probably only get one more good fight out of this, Billy.
Well, I mean, they're going to be going up against a Amp Matrix. We're going to see Arc come up with this overclock. It's going to have to be huge, Jeff. It's going to have to be absolutely massive.
Arc get a triple kill earlier. SFU need it now, or they're going down in an 0-2. Arc looping around the outside. We saw them moving up. They're going to be on your back left side on that high ground. Keep that in mind as Blunder moves forward. Whoa, Amp Matrix. How is the... Oh, that's how Blunder took to the skies. Like, I am flying. I am out of here. Doing the Superman routine. Dropping into the back. Still can't find any kills, but it is Arc coming alive, just as we had hoped, at least SFU fans. Zephyr is down, though, and the work is not done here for SFU. Zoana comes back through, flank at the hotel, finds Arc in a battle with their tank, will mow them down with a little help from the Lucio, and SFU are running out of resources here. It's going to be a sound barrier from Zaps, only hits Blunder and themselves to try to take this point. You gotta take Zoana down, but the healing is just too good. The Bastion just won't die.
Blizzard. Oh, Blizzard's going to be out as well, and that's going to clear it up right there, Jeff. They fight back. They get the full hold here on King's Row. My goodness. We've been praising Nova here for the Inferno. I want to give a big fat nod to the back line of ASU. Absolutely on point with these heals and just turning fights around that they had no business winning.
Serious. Oh, yeah, that...
Absolutely dirty. Absolutely dirty. I mean, look at that. I mean, coming out of H2O Aqua, I mean, the placements of these Amp Matrices have been absolutely disgusting. And then, you know, they're focusing down that lamp. Every time that it comes out, when a combo is coming out, they're ready for it.
Every time. I mean, and then the Inferno responding with combos of their own, like the one we're seeing here. Oh, Zoana, I mean, putting out so much work. Ridiculous on the Bastion. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, go ahead.
I was just saying, Nova at the center of it all, like at the middle of this outstanding performance. And I mean, no coincidence. Coming from the Sun Devils, there's a Nova heating them up and keeping them burning hot here through this on the Orisa, no less, which is, well, not particularly meta at the moment, but you know what? With Nova, anything seems to work. Whatever Nova picks, I have full confidence in Billy.
I mean, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, I think that they're investing once again. They're making sure that their tank stays alive. They're willing to take a loss, either to a support or a DPS. But as long as Nova is in the fight, the Inferno definitely have a shot to win a fight.
Well, we're going to take a little break here for halftime. While we're doing that, be sure and go drop a sub on the NECC YouTube. You're looking for VODs of your NECC matches? All NEC VODs are housed on our YouTube page. Just search NECC Esports on YouTube to find our page. While you're there, drop a follow for all of our future content. With that said, we're heading into the half. We're going to come back for Flashpoint in just a minute. We'll see you there. Oh, I love you all. I missed y'all. Welcome back. We're about to head into map number 3 here in our final game of week 3. Oh, it's well, Simon Fraser University down 0-2 to Arizona State, the Inferno. And well, it wasn't even really close on that on Kings Row, Billy. That last map was all Inferno.
And it all roads to Rome lead through Nova. I mean, Nova is a star in their own right. Well, you know what? We're going to go to Saravasa. And I like the pick coming from SFU. I think that they need to change their composition up a little bit. I don't think that they can continue to run this Sigma into either the Orisa or the Junker Queen. I think they need to be a little bit more adaptive to what they're seeing coming out from the Inferno. So for me, I think that we want to look at, what can we do to counter? What can we do to stall out this freight train that is the Inferno right now? And I think that they've got to get themselves in the back line, my friend.
So ARC going to make their debut of the series there in that last map, and certainly saw some signs of brilliance out of that Sojourn. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's where that spark. Maybe that's the ticket to getting into that backline, finding some key angles, finding a good off angle perhaps, or just creating the right LOS to where ARC can get some of those shots down and disconnect No Limit and H2O Aqua from Nova.
I mean, what I saw, Jeff, is that health bars really dropped low, but they weren't able to confirm the kills. And hear me out here. Genji exists. And when you're running in with a Bastion composition, you're not getting it done with the Sojourn, I think that you go in with a Genji. I think that Genji is able to really confirm those last kills. It puts a lot more harassment on No Limit and H2O Aqua. So, I say that there's Zephyr coming out onto the Genji. So they're thinking exactly along the same lines that I'm thinking. Get to the back line, confirm those kills.
Yep, no Bastion here. It's really a completely separate DPS line. Really, the only two heroes that are mirrored are Lucio and the JQ. Here comes Zephyr already, looping all into the back. Kind of using this pillar to dance around, sights on the Bastion, and they find it. Bastion dies immediately. Well thought out plan here from SFU to claw their way back into the series. So far, so good. First fight into Saravasa.
Exactly what they needed. And it's not only the ability to confirm the kills and to land headshots, by the way, onto Nova, but it's also to make sure that you have that harassment in the back line. You're not letting No Limit and H2O Aqua just exist, and have their tea and, put one hand behind their back. Now, for the Inferno, they're going to have to think about and have room for pause. Every time that they put the wheels down, there's a deflect that's going to be coming back your way. It's going to be pulling your resources out.
Could cause a big problem. It's good job from Nova and No Limit to stay up in ult charge. Good wall. Blunder is absolutely cordoned off from the rest of the team, and there's no Baptiste to get an immortality field in there. Blunder is down immediately as the Inferno make their own adaptations. Akasha's going to fall into the back. Zephyr trying to pull it back with a blade. This is a 3v5.
Yep, I mean, 70%, that's a damn good first fight, though, Jeff. I think that's actually really good coming out from them. It's going to be dueling rampages coming into this next fight, and the Lucio charges are on point. The big thing is that Akasha went to the Kiriko and gets absolutely dumpstered.
Yeah, I got blown up. I mean, I understand the thought behind the Kiriko. Losing your other support would be absolutely disastrous. Still think a disengage is necessary. Oh, that Jagged Blade!
Damn!
Oh, Zephyr got so lucky they got pulled into that middle pillar.
I mean, Nova don't miss. Nova don't miss, and Nova don't play. Now you're going to have almost a full 4-pack here coming in from SFU. The 5-pack is almost online for Inferno. They have done this all in the neutral. Very scary stuff.
I'm saying I can see why Akasha is bringing Kiriko here, considering a rush to start things off. Gonna have to hold that. Suzu will be able to get him out of the blizzard. They do. Tipster falls. The Suzu works out well, as is the Kiriko pick, and now a rampage over the middle. Immortality field is down, and so is the sound barrier. Everything being thrown out from the Inferno to try to survive, and nothing is working. Akasha's pick comes in big here when they needed it most.
Absolutely, and I mean, the overclock really does put all that frontline pressure on them from range, and now they're going to take this point over, and they only have the artillery strike left. So, I mean, when the dust settles, one ultimate's going to be on the field. You're looking at Zephyr coming up on a blade. So, I mean, a couple of headshots, you're going to have the katana drawn up against an artillery strike. I'm taking the Genji in that fight every time.
The strike is early. He just engages, as we've seen. It's going to be a touch here from Tipster using that ice block. Somebody's got to come back him up. It can't just be Tipster there. H2O barely even makes it to the point. They have to duck out around the corner and use the immortality field. This point will go to SFU eventually. Two straggling members sticking around, so SFU will not only get the lead here on the map, but they should get an advantageous position into the next sub point, assuming Nova doesn't kill anyone. Okay, all right. Nova almost just making me sweat here. It's definitely making SFU sweat a little bit.
I mean, and then Lucio, I mean, No Limit has no fear. Absolutely ready to go in and take care of things as we head now to Palace. And this is a very open spot here. So for SFU, they need to get their sight lines down. They need to get Zephyr in position, ready to go at a moment's notice. Once they see the support line come out from the Inferno, that's when you unleash the katana. You pull that immortality field out, and you take care of the back line.
And it's going to be with a Kitsune Rush. That's a Fox and a Dragon combining to take Zawada out of the fight. Great boop! Right into the line of fire of Zephyr. And they're there to slice and dice everyone.
Just like again, so back in the 80s, it slices, it dices, it does everything that you want, and gets you the first point. And yeah, it's two impactful ultimates coming in, but that Kitsune Rush, the thing that it does that a lot of people don't really recognize for the value, it gets everybody else's ultimates up really fast, and Blunder's going to have the Rampage coming in this fight.
Yep, and the limit about 25% away from the sound barrier. It's going to be a race on that one. The Suzu could bail SFU out. Kasha stays alive long enough. It is Blunder who pulls the trigger first on it. No Limit does not have the sound barrier. It's just an immortality field trying to keep everybody alive. Nova responds. Oh, it's going to fall as the zaps. I didn't see the Suzu. I don't know what happened, but Nova killed everyone.
I mean, No Limit does it with the amp speed and the boop that puts it back into the field of the Jagged Blade. Oh, my word. Carnage gets the work done. But, I mean, really, it was expensive there for SFU. Only the sound barrier remaining on the field. Arc is coming up on their overclock. But you've got both support ultimates here for the Inferno. This window could absolutely be the fight turner here for the Inferno. That, wait for the sound barrier to come out. Get yours out second. The second one is usually the better one, and then absolutely cremate them with your own window.
See who has got the ice in their veins here in this next fight could determine this point, perhaps even serve us as a whole. H2O sitting with that amateur because his trips are jumping down, splitting the team in half. But SFU don't really get frozen up. Nice, Suzu kept Blunder from getting frozen at the very end, but still they die. Sound barrier only hit 3. SFU have to stick around and fight this out. Otherwise, this point is just gone. And, well, they were kind of split on the decision to go in. The Inferno will even things up on Cervasa.
I mean, Jeff, what do we always say? Indecision will get you killed. Well, we just saw what happened there. They absolutely get blown up. And it looks like we are heading now, I believe, to Ruins as we head up to the northwestern quadrant here of India.
Can I take a moment to point out just the dance move we just saw from Arc to stay alive? Because of that, SFU can move in and grab this point. If Arc wasn't in this fight, they wouldn't be able to do this.
Correct. I mean, early artillery strike coming in from Zoana, but you've got a Blade now. Blade is going to be huge.
Oh, H2 is already in a lot of trouble. Immortality Field's gone, and H2O is not in this fight. Dashing through everyone. The Ninja of Zephyr just annihilates the team in a flash and a smoke bomb. The Inferno are gone.
And they do it just on the back of that. I mean, what a great Blade that came out. Waiting for the cooldowns, waiting for the rotation. Gets it done. Oh, my God. The dash, the punch, everything was on point there for Zephyr. Zephyr, kind of got beat up. They're on Legion Gardens. They have actually turned it around and have turned into a fantastic map here. That wall was not what Tipster wanted, and now they're going to be able to regroup on the point.
Oh, there we go. That's Kiriko. That's been working out so well. And here's the
crap.
rush to start things off.
All right, so Arc gets takes out of the Aqua, and now Akasha getting it done with the Kitsune Rush coming out. Absolutely going through everybody, having a wonderful time as well. 82% and counting. The Rampage comes out and gets caught on the wall. That's not what he wanted. Nova's going to go down. Zephyr getting it done. That's going to be this point. Going over to SFU. They're going to take the 2-1 lead. They're going on map point.
Indeed, but I think we've already used both of their closer spots, so the Inferno should get favorable positioning here on these next two subpoints.
Absolutely. But I mean, look at this. I mean, look at the ultimates now. I mean, Zephyr used Blade in the previous fight, 87% towards Blade now. Then you're going to have the Rampage and the Overclock to boot. Oh my word, Palace is going to be the point here. This is scary, Jeff. There's the early Rampage. Oh my god.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah, that found 4. Zawada died immediately.
Bye-bye.
Nova's scrambling for health. There's none to be found. Arc with the monstrous aim. Incredible accuracy as Arc kills everyone.
Jeff, we were talking about Arc, how we saw signs of brilliance. This was just an opus operandi. It was so good. It was so good. It was an opum glorium in Latin, the beautiful composure. Oh my god, it was so good. And now they're going to have a sound barrier to keep themselves up through this blizzard.
Under set him up, and Arc knocked him down. Well, I don't know if you remember the fight before, but it was Genji dreams of Stairwell, and here comes Zephyr once again. Zawada slides out of the way, and the sound barrier out early from No Limit. Blunder dies early, so does Zaps want to use their own sound barrier in this fight? No, looks like they're just going to get the heck out of Dodge.
Absolutely smart decision there. And I mean, their coach has got to be proud of them for not panic pressing the Q there. So, I mean, yeah, you flip over the
It's so easy to do.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. You and I do it all the time. Well, okay, I do it all the time. I'm not going to throw you under the bus like that. I do it all the time.
But the best of us.
I mean, Arc coming up on another overclock here. We saw what they did with the last one, and they still have this sound barrier and a rush coming up.
But Blunder has no route of escape and is now just getting a blizzard thrown right at their feet. But the Suzu from Akasha is on point. Zaps with the sounds, and SFU are finding their rhythm here in the back of it. Able to pick up one. Disengaging from the Kitsune Rush coming out of H2O. SFU now respond with an overclock. Arc's got one again? Are you kidding me? No Limit eats one, eats two. Can you find that one on the back end? Looking for Nova. Nova's Rampage does find a pair. Nova now in a fight with Blunder, but Blunder slices through them with the carnage, and SFU hang on.
They left poor Arc out to dry, Jeff. I feel so bad for the Sojourn right now, doing all the work and just, praying for a crumb of heals. Please, sir, may I have some heals? And no, you get no heals. We keep Blunder alive, and now Blunder has the Rampage going into this next fight. We're gonna see. Do we invest a Zoana? Overclock coming in this next fight? Well, maybe not, because Suzu's already out.
Suzu's already been used! Then that's a 4-player Rampage. It's going to be 3, but it's both DPS and Nova. Nova's in a lot of trouble. That carnage should get it done. Yep, Zephyr is in the back. Just dash it through anybody. Low health targets. Zephyr's all over them. Wow. SFU get a map on the board as they take Suravasa. Fend off the sweep.
I mean, Jeff, can we talk about Blender? But more, can we talk about Akasha? Holy cow. The Suzus were on point, and they were watching. They were watching their opposite, waiting for that Suzu to come out before they let loose with their combos. Got it absolutely done. Zephyr bringing out the Genji that I was so praying for. This is what the Genji does. It gets the harassment in the back line. It gives you extra mobility. It gives you that finishing power that they have been lacking for the first 2 maps. And now they brought it to full fruition here. SFU showing us so much heart here. Boom Diata, Precocious, their coach, has to be super proud right now.
Well, and stepping away from the Bastion, it's a bold choice. Bastion feels like such a must-pick these days. And SFU, they come in with a gutsy move and putting Zephyr on the Genji and Arc on the Sojourn. And, look at that. That is just what every Genji player dreams of. And Zephyr makes the most out of a golden opportunity. Put up one of the coolest plays I have seen all night long. And then Arc with this triple kill. Just, it was, well, I think it was Billy's kiss. I think is what that...
I love you, dude. I love you,
Yeah,
dude. You're my homie. I mean, just the predictive nature here of ARC. I mean, understanding what their opposite's going to do, what the opposition's going to do, absolutely perfect coming out from them. I mean, this is exactly what they needed, and I really like that they do go away from the Bastion. And I think the Bastion right now is not a must pick. I mean, it's a great pick.
Sure.
Bastion is in a great spot. The things that you have to have on your team, you have to have a Lucio, you have to have a Bastion, unless you're on a Junker Queen centric map like a Suravasa, where the Rampage is going to come out. We saw both teams bring out the Kiriko there. The better timing came from SFU, really holding on to that Suzu until it was absolutely needed. Patience was shown, restraint was shown, and that's the big difference that happened here on Suravasa. This might be the beginning of a reverse sweep, because that's going to be in their heads now.
And we're headed to push for our next map type, and it feels like push has more in common with Flashpoint maps than it does with, say, hybrid, as far as the pace of play and how quickly your rotations matter, how much your rotations matter. And so, I mean, it can't help but feel that SFU really found their stride a bit there on that last map, and the Genji Sojourn was a huge part of it. Well, I mean, if you're ASU, do you keep with what you've been running? I think that's the question.
I mean,
May is so strong right now. They've looked so good on the May. It's been ridiculous. May got buffed to a primary fire, but still has the same ult charge. So super fast blizzards, and they've been putting them to great use. Like, holy cow!
Right. I think that. So depending on what is banned here, and I think that if I am SFU right now, you have to ban Esperanza out. You have to ban it. Oh, they ban Coliseo. Oh no. Okay. I think that
interesting.
It's interesting because if you want to run this Genji composition, which they did very well on, you want it more linear, and Esperanza gives you so much more of a high ground, low ground feel than the other two push maps. So, and
the ability to flank, right? I mean, just so many more routes to work with. So
exactly. So I think this is actually probably a little bit of a miss here from SFU, but we'll see. They're feeling it right now. I mean, that was a great map for them, and their coach probably guiding them along the way. And I mean, they lost the first two maps, but they take Flashpoint back. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what comes out here for them.
Yep, looks like we have gotten a pick in here from the Sun Devils, and ASU, the Inferno have chosen New Queen Street.
Well, this actually plays
number 4.
Right. I think this actually plays into SFU. The flanking.
A little bit for sure. A little bit.
Yeah.
For sure. That's kind of what I was thinking with the Coliseo ban, is they were looking for a map that had more of these flank angles to work with.
Exactly. So I think for I would have banned Esperanza, but I mean, the fact that we're going to Canada, I mean, this actually might play into SFU's hand. So the Canadian squad looking to make it a little bit cold down in Tempe right now. They're starting the reverse sweep right now, and I think that if they can continue to play the way they did, and when Blunder can get the work done up front, I think this is actually going to be really good for them.
I mean, Blunder was really good with the Rampages. I would say Blunder had the better ult usage from the Junker Queen, but Nova was a bit stronger in the neutral. Now, with that said, it may be a moot point here if Nova's going to come back out on the Orisa.
But I mean, once you get past the cooldowns, I think that the Junker Queen has a little bit more in the tank, especially with the speed, especially with Akasha. That's going to be on this. It's going to be on this Kiriko. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll see how this actually turns out here in the opening engagement.
Looks like SFU value in the high ground. Okay, Inferno do eventually make their way over there. SFU have that precious card or that precious real estate around the statue. You see Zaps is holding it down. Nova's just going to go use the Fortify. Actually gets booped all the way. Now he's going to rotate around. Blunder with a shout, trying to back out. The teams do not want to relinquish control of this precious center area. Losing Akasha and Blunder to the cause before they would escape.
Well, I think now it's time for Blunder to come back out on the Sigma and give Nova a lot more to think about. Because the Junker Queen, yeah. Especially when we're looking at these tight hairpin corners coming around. They've got to be able to get on top of the point, and Akasha has to not be so much DPS oriented and try to really turn it around.
You see the focus is on Suzuwana at the moment, but Suzuwana has stayed nice and healthy. Even an immortality field invested here from the Inferno. Make sure they can keep that Bastion alive.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, early use. Arc on a nice little flank angle here, and Zephyr goes into the back. H2 Aqua falls. Zephyr managing to just warm their way in under the skin of the Inferno and prying them apart from the inside out.
I mean, that's the power of the Genji right now, is the fact that you can get the deflect and you can pour all that damage back onto the aggressors. They're going to take the lead here. They've got Blade in their back pocket. They almost have a 5-pack of ultimates. Tipster is not getting it done on the Sojourn right now. And they know that this is not a May happy map, so they have to play something a little bit different here. This is actually playing, like I said, into SFU's hands. They take the lead. And how much are they going to get out of this?
I know the Inferno like to play fast. Here they go. They're going to rush him, but they're running into a Kitsune rush. They're going to use the Amp Matrix just to keep everybody at bay. Arc is going to fall. Zephyr is still in deep, trying to stick around through this, but what a wonderful amplification matrix to nullify Akasha's ult.
I mean, and really, Tipster showing us why they are playing what they are playing. We saw the icicles taking people's domes left and right, so the aim is definitely there. They're going to come into this fight with a 5-pack.
Close to it. Both teams missing a support ult. All it took to win that. Lead regained here by the Inferno as they round the corner and look to get those closer spawns. Zephyr trying to find a place to pull this Katana out, but Sound Barrier is down. What a projective ball from No Limit. What a spear from Nova. The spear is mightier than the sword and the boop onto the Rampage. Blunder still manages to find 3 despite the boop, because Zawana's going to mow him down. Arc finds one with a Disruptor shot, but SFU are scattered.
Good Lord. No Limit has the cojones that every one of us wish we had when we're playing support. And, I mean, that was a great denial of the good Rampage. Now, for Arc, I mean, Arc has to turn this around. Otherwise, this is going to be a very, very one-sided push map.
I didn't even see the artillery strike in there from Zawana. It kind of kept everybody else from following up on that Blade. Arc with the overclock. Searching for targets. Everybody's hiding. Nova will be able to cross that open sight line without getting too much damage. But up top, Tipster overstayed their welcome here in this tiny corridor. Zaps and Arc able to collapse on that. Now looking for more room around this outside. Arc has been so good on these off angles and buying room and attention for Zephyr to get in. Zephyr's already in deep. Deflect used. We'll get it back around the window. Couldn't find anything in the back line. But SFU have managed to acquire quite a bit of space.
Well, I mean, Terra Surge ready to go. Overclock ready to go. Amp Matrix ready to go. This is a scary fight.
Yeah, and that's a lot of map control instantly purchased here by H2 Aqua, with Zawana throwing in a heavy investment of bullets as well. Zephyr catching the business end of that deal. Nova finds them, and Inferno still haven't really had to spend a whole lot. Speaking of spending, Blunder's going to use this Kitsune Rush to find No Limit. Didn't even see where they got that one. Woo! Careful, Akasha. You don't want to challenge that Bastion, not just yet. Tipster drops down at the high ground with an overclock. And just putting all attention on to Blunder. They do eventually go down. Oh! And the headshot onto Akasha as well. The deflect will run out, and the Inferno maintain their lead. Zephyr picks up 2, has a blade. Somebody already used here in what is a 2v2 in the back of this point. Zephyr is going to fall. Looks like Zaps is still here. Against Nova. It's a Lucio 1v1. No Limit wins it out.
No Limit just says, kind of blows the nostrils out and says, I am the greater Lucio here. It wasn't a true Lucio 1v1 though, Jeff. We know, because got completely barreled down by Nova. Zaps did the best they could. But you know what? We're gonna see the this SFU progress going up.
It's speed. They're able to get back into this thing with the shout and some early deaths. And now the blade is out and no immortality field to protect H2O onto the back of the Bastion, and not even all of that damage. It's going to keep Zephyr from moving through your backline. Nova finally takes him down, but Tipster, yeah, only had 1 health. Easy pickets there for Akasha and Arc with some cleanup on the back. This is going to be a checkpoint closer spawns unlocked. We're going to be tied.
I mean, Jeff, 6 minutes off the clock here. And look at
they still have a meter. Ooh, that's an important meter, Billy.
It is, but they've got 3 ultimates coming into this fight and nothing online for the Inferno. ASU is on the back foot here.
Okay, the Inferno are a split second late trying to go contest. They allow SFU to steal the lead away from them. Blunder backing out, taking a lot of damage from that Bastion. The Fortify used as well. As soon as that wheel goes up, though, it's going to be vulnerable, and the Inferno just get run through. The Rampage hits everyone. It is just nothing but purple and blue in the kill feed.
Oh, my lord. I mean, they invest 3 ultimates in that fight. They still have the rush, Jeff. So, this is scary. I mean, look at this. Hiding behind TS1 and then going in. So good.
All 5 hit on that. Everyone was purple. Tony, Blunder's Rampages are top-notch. And here comes Arc. Speaking of top-notch, No Limit already falls. Hits that shot. Tipster has to duck around the corner. They peeked that, and Arc wasn't having any of it. That's 3 for Arc. Give me the 4th. Akasha will steal it away, but it's another team kill here for SFU. They have a gargantuan lead now.
I mean, Jeff, I talked about it, where they banned out Coliseo. And, okay, so I thought we were going to Esperanza. I mean, that was a perfect map for the Inferno to choose. They say, you know what? We're good. We're gonna go to a more linear map. Not the right choice. Not at all.
It has certainly worked out well. Although, as we say, that Blunder's going to fall. But it's been Zephyr on this Genji. It's kind of been the X factor throughout the last 2 maps. And manages to find a pick here that enables SFU to continue to put pressure down and eat more time off of this clock. You even get the sound barrier out at No Limit. Zaps is just going to turn out and run and say, thank you, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, perfect. Perfect for them. And now, you know, they're going to have the Blade. They're coming up on a couple of ultimates here as well. Here's the big kicker. Oh!
That's a dangerous move. Yeah, I don't know how Nova goes down. I was watching Zaps dance around, just mesmerizing. But the Inferno have no tank. Blunder is feeling as free as could be as they fly towards a pile of squishies with a shout and a rampage to boot.
Yeah, and they're going to hold this blade until they hear that shout come out, and then they're going to go in.
It's in a rush here from Inferno, but H2O Aqua was so very low. Blunder has ducked around into this corner. It could be a dangerous move. Everybody knows it. They're going to use the Rampage to get out. Rampage hits 3. They have no Akasha, but they need to get these kills. Tipster will fall to the tick damage. Zephyr decides to give up on going for the Lucio to see if they can get Nova out of this fight. Nova's going to heal using that Rampage and what little healing Lucio can put out. But Zephyr is still here with the sound barrier to back them up. It's Zawada from the high ground who finally silences this Simon Fraser squad.
Well, Simon Fraser buying a lot of time. We're sub 60 seconds now, Jeff, and we've got just the overclock ready to go for Tipster. Tipster's going to possibly go out. Nope. Healing is good there. Arc versus Tipster into this next fight, Jeff. This is going to be a good one, and they got the rush at their back.
I mean, the Inferno have less than half the amount of distance SFU are currently sitting at. Multiple fights needed with only 30 seconds remaining. Overclock from Tipster. Show us what you got on this soldier, but you're going into a Kitsune rush. Blunder just runs them down. Tipster cannot find any good targets, but fortunately for the Inferno, Zoana does. Zephyr out of the fight. Arc down to 3 health, backing away up to the stairwell. And SFU will hold for another go.
I mean, we're going to be in overtime. I mean, even before we get to the scratch moment. And, I mean, the big thing is that No Limit has their sound barrier going into this fight. So they have some room to work.
That's it. That's all the room they've got. This 3 seconds. Butt Scratch has already been activated, so this bot will keep moving. No. No, the butt scratch had not been activated.
God.
The butt's stuck, and Ark is here in the window and has your name written all over this railgun. That's another 3K from Ark, and it is good enough. You'll make it 4. Ark will send Simon Fraser to a map 5.
Oh boy, Inferno may have pooped the bed there because Esperanza would have been a much better map. You made this linear. And the fact that you made it linear means that Ark has areas to work in. Zephyr can basically stalk their point out and blunder. Even though they don't get POTG, Blunder was the better Junker Queen here.
I mean, those rampages were absolutely massive. I'd love to see a stat how many rampage kills they had. That was a great shutdown. No Limit very much anticipated that that Dragon Blade. And is able to get that sound barrier out. And of course, the spear. But this rampage, the boop was there, but it was a touch late. And there's just nothing you can do. Nobody can heal. And SFU have all the confidence in the world. And then here we go with just the Arc show to top it all off.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I mean, Blunder using this to get out and really prolonging the fight. And, you know, you see the kills coming on the back of it. I mean, the smart usage of ultimates here. SFU really turned it around.
That was a total bait. Get as many people baiting into that stairwell as possible to rampage them. So it's and then here we get the 4K at the end from Ark. We saw like those sparks of outstanding play from Ark early. Man, as this series has gone on, they have gotten more and more lethal, Billy. Arizona State started off real strong. The Inferno took a 2-0 lead and looked indomitable after Kings Row. But Simon Fraser have come screaming back with a killer Genji pick coming out of Zephyr. And now they threaten the reverse sweep as we head into map 5 on Escort.
Oh, boy. I mean, Zephyr has been the catalyst.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So good. Absolutely so good. The deflects have been good. The dashes have been good. And just that nuisance factor. You know, you talk about a tracer being like the real nuisance factor. I think Genji provides a lot more nuisance factor and a lot more lethality. And we saw that time and time again here in the past 2 maps. So the adaptation, you know, they finally figured out that Bastion wasn't working for them. And we'll see what happens here on the next map coming up. And we're looking at, you know, the map choice coming in, and Shambali Monastery is going to be our next map. So Genji can work here, yes, but I don't know if they want to roll in this direction. Blunder likes the Sigma. Sigma plays very well here, Jeff.
Yeah, but Sigma, honestly, if I'm SFU, I say stick with what's been working. The Sojourn Genji combo was so strong, and it seems to just catch SFU off guard and just throw them out of the game plan that they wanted. SFU really good with all their guns pointed in the right direction, put a May wall up, everybody focused down Blunder. This is what worked for them the first 2 maps. But now SFU have been surrounding them, taking 3-point attacks where they'll put Arc on an off angle, send Zephyr into the backline, and Blunder up the front. And the Inferno haven't found a good answer. So with that, I think it's on the Inferno to come out and show us they can counter that before the SFU squad changes anything.
That's why I think the Sigma actually would be a great choice here, is because they're expecting the JQ, right? So my reasoning here is keep the Genji and Sojourn. Forget about the Mei. Forget about the Bastion. Sojourn Genji is where you're getting the majority of your kills right now. And, well, you know what? They listened to you this time. And they're actually going to go in with the same composition that we saw in New Queen Street. So we're going to see Nova bringing out the Sigma, which we have not seen. They are feeling the pressure right now, Jeff. They are absolutely up against it.
Boy, maybe this is the answer. I mean, Zephyr could struggle against the Sigma. I mean, that's Genji's worst nightmare is a giant accretion rock flying at you. You are toast if that thing hits you. There is no coming back from that, and you can't deflect it. So, with that said, Nova is going to go ahead and swap over to the JQ last minute.
Oh boy.
Zephyr may not know it, but I think they're breathing a sigh of relief subconsciously.
I mean, we're breathing it for him.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see it. And I mean, the fact that we don't see a Symmetra here. Because Symmetra...
No, it's
I mean...
It's a front-loaded approach. This is what Inferno are good at. Everybody point your gun at Blunder. You gotta be able to wall them off. Otherwise, Arc and Zephyr are gonna be able to get around. And there it is. Zephyr trying to play that off angle, and it just distracts Zawana enough for Akasha to find the first blood here on Shambali Monastery. Nova's not gonna last long. And this is gonna be a good start here for SFU.
Zephyr has cojones of steel right now because just basically waited in the back line and I got it done. Oh my god, what a stagger kill coming from Zephyr. Yeah, I mean, Zephyr has been the catalyst for this Raccoon squad. And yeah, now we have gone back to the Sigma. So now there's a lot of room for pause here for the Genji player.
You could see Zephyr immediately recognizing that, being very cautious around this corner. Oh, using the ceiling to try to find entrance into the back. But everybody from the Inferno recognize it. Call out is there. They back up. They don't have their dash, or they do have their dash. They just have the deflect. He's gonna hang out in this room. Oh, they used the dash on the May. No, you needed to use the dash to escape. That's why I thought you didn't have it. Stuck around way too long. And what has been the X factor for SFU is now gone early in this defense on point A.
Yep, and there goes Lucio as well, so they have to make a full retreat here, and there's not speed to get them out. And the wall's going to keep everybody out. Oh, boy. Not good here. Inferno, smelling blood in the water.
Yeah, they got one on cart. The question is, can they hold SFU from a recontest? It'll take another kill, I think, from the Inferno if they're going to stop a full second fight.
Well, I mean, we're going to have dueling ults here from the windows, but you have both DPL supplements ready to go.
Oh, here comes the blade into the back, right behind the amplification matrix. Has to deal with that pesky lamp first, and the sound barrier keeps everybody alive. So, Zephyr has to walk off empty-handed. It's Blunder's turn. Hitting all five once again with the rampage and dicing through everyone.
Oh, boy, and they're going to stagger the May. Oh, this is brutal.
Yeah. That'll pretty much ensure, I think, it's 2 fights remaining here for Inferno. That was an interesting threshold of catching the May right at that, like, $130, $145 mark.
Right.
And the difference between 2 or 3 fights, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and the bigger difference is that they've got the sound barrier. So Noah's going to think, you know what? I'm going into this with the Flux. I'm good to go. You put out the Flux, sound barrier in response. You wait a couple seconds, put out the overclock, and we know how lethal Arc is with that.
Nova's just hunting Zephyr. Yeah, all sights were on Zephyr right there. A nice wall is going to hold Blunder into all of that damage. Zaps with a late sound barrier overclock from the back, and Zawana goes down. Gravitic Flux hits all 4 remaining members, though, and the 2 supports are scrambling. Zaps, I believe, is still holding cart, but Nova's moved through and annihilated the rest of your team, so this is going to be a point A pickup here from the Inferno.
What kind of changes do we see from SFU? That's the big question right now, because there's a lot of front-loaded progress here from the Inferno. There's a lot of damage that comes out. And with the Akasha Kiriko, you don't have that immortality barrier that can keep you up through all this front-loaded damage. So this is the problem here for SFU. They need to figure out the Rubik's Cube in a hurry.
These reinforcements show up just in the nick of time. There's an accretion onto Zephyr. They're lucky to fall down to the low ground. A lot of damage on to Nova. Looks like they're trying to be very conservative with the shield. Let it recharge. Yeah, it's already cracked. But with Zaps down, the options from SFU are very limited now. Attention turn on to Blunder. There's no disengage available. It is kill or be killed. So it looks like it's going to be a concerted rush coming out from Sam Frazier to try to see if they can win out this fight. Zephyr is here, very close to a blade. This rush could help him build up the rest. Tipster has been phenomenal with the blizzards and has one in the pocket ready to go. Wants to catch down this Genji before they can slice through your backline. There comes the blade from Zephyr, all over H2O. There is no escape from that. The Bastion's not going to live. Onto the Lucio goes Zephyr, and it is 3 again under the weight of this katana.
But they did not engage their support elements, so they have some serious punching power going into this next fight. So for SFU,
Ignore that blizzard.
right? So I mean, they have stuff to deal with it right now, but they also have the extra staying power. So I think that they hold on to their ultimates here. It's a minute 15 almost going into this next fight. Really, for SFU to win this next engagement, they have to get an early pick out of the gate.
Oh, it looks like a gravitic flux is going to be used to try to do that. Shout from Blunder just at the right moment, but the wall keeps him from getting any kind of heals. The Creation Rock might just shut down Zephyr, but they can't lock it down. Zephyr's able to dodge around all of it. Eventually, between the combination of Tipster and Nova, they get the job done and get that pesky Genji out of their back line.
Yeah, I mean,
Zaps.
Zaps. Yeah, Zaps was again saving the day, even though Arc does go down. So I mean, you lose a little bit of that speed engage, you lose a little bit of that staying power. And I mean, as we round the corner here, you know, if Zaps can get out a good sound barrier here and catch enough people, I think they have enough to keep them in this fight.
Watch Tipster at the top of your screen. Wall and Blizzard. Expect it. Know what's going to happen. Rampage finds 4, but the wall's going to keep anybody in, and Sound Barrier is there for the Inferno. Sound Barrier from both sides, as a matter of fact, and the Blizzard doesn't hit anyone. Zaps is trying to escape and cannot. Looks like SFU are a bit scattered, and both supports are nowhere near the front line. So, well, Blunder ends up on an island, and Inferno end up with a point B cap.
Yep, that wall was everything. Tipster regaining their May supremacy here on map number 5, up in the mountains, in the snowy wastelands of Nepal, and they get it done. The burning Inferno coming up hot here in the snowy wasteland.
Looking like their formal selves again, at least earlier than that. What an accretion! Landed down on a Blunder. Overclock in the back, but Arc not able to find the same success this time that we'd seen in the previous 2 maps. Ends up falling, as a matter of fact. But some slick moves from Zaps, dances all over Tipster's head. So Racoons will have to do this without, the Inferno will have to do this without their May. Zaps falling back. It's got to keep Blunder alive for hoping a weak contest.
Flux available. No sound barrier. So, I mean, it's going to have to come up to something from Blunder, and nope, they're done.
Oh, Blunder just ragdolls out of the sky. Zephyr trying to pull out some late game heroics once again. Dodges around the rocket, has already picked up 2 kills. Arc is down, though, and it's just Akasha and Zephyr locking down this point with 19 seconds to go. Make that only Zephyr. You can't deflect the May, but the Lucio is low, and Zephyr finds them out of the sky with the melee. Gets another one. You have got to be kidding me. Zephyr brings this back from impossible odds.
I mean, that might have just saved the entire map for SFU. What a hero play from Zephyr. Once again, coming up big on the Genji and clutching a fight out. Oh my word.
Can we just change the name X Factor to the Z Factor? Like, just the Z Factor. They're Canadian. We got to do it right. It's the Z Factor coming out from Zephyr that has been such a monstrous difference maker. Incredible impact since the Genji swap. Right? I mean, just feast on this, friends. Feast with your eyes.
I mean, let's shout out Dongman way back on Lijiang, trying to keep their team in it, waiting for Arc to get back in here, and then coming through big time. Arc getting kind of pummeled around here by the Sigma, but man, the Z Factor indeed. A massive love out to you for giving us Canadians and the rest of the world the proper name of Z. And well, man, I mean, absolutely flawless on the Genji so far.
I mean, the Inferno tried to answer. I mean, the Nova Sigma was good. I mean, some of those fluxes were outstanding. And it was just still not enough to keep Zephyr from running through, from having their way with your team. What a turnaround now. Look at this difference. Simon Fraser, are you running out with this double sniper comp? Oh, this looks fun. I'm guessing it's just for an initial pick and then we're going to make some swaps. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, I didn't hate it. And I mean, it definitely gave them room for pause.
An opportunity to find first blood, which would have just opened up the entirety of the first point. So, Wall here. Cautious trying to get over it, make sure they can keep Blunder alive. Blunder isn't able to back out. Kasha loops around to keep them alive, so good rotation from the supports to match their tank movement here. And what was a very dangerous spot against a very aggressive team. Zephyr, look at me how long they can stay around with all that damage coming at him. It's ridiculous. That Jagged Knife is going to land. A Carnage lands as well as the shot. Woo! Nova with a big 1-2 punch. Showing us some of that Joker Queen supremacy we saw in the neutral.
Yeah, and I mean, you give massive love to No Limit there. 66% and counting towards their sound barrier. The amp speed absolutely crushing the Racoons as they stand. But, I mean...
Oh, Nova's in trouble.
Blunder is going to possibly turn this all around.
Suzu has already been used. If Blunder could get that up. No, they cannot! Big kill coming out from the Inferno, because that Rampage would have decimated him with nothing to protect him.
Well, we'll see what comes out here. Both supports ready to go for the Inferno and the Rampage as well.
For Tat, Zephyr returns the favor and takes Tipster out of the fight, moments away from having their big ultimate. So the Inferno now trying to decide, all right, looks like they're just going to stay on cart, draw Blunder in. A lot of damage down, but a Kitsune Rush means that's a lot of extra healing. Suzu only finds a Kasha after that Rampage, so a Sound Barrier has to be invested here from SFU. One from the Inferno as well to try to fend off the blade of Zephyr. Running into a Kitsune Rush, the bold strategy cotton, but it is a huge purple Blunder with the Rampage once again. Is the Blizzard going to be enough to fend it off? 2 kills going each way, but 2 more for the Racoons.
Oh man, what a counterplay there coming out of the Racoons. And now they're going to have overclock difference. Zoana will have it, but when they come back, Zephyr needs to get out in a hurry. But I mean, the damage is done. Like, that was the big investment that, you know, really for the Inferno, they couldn't afford to have.
Be tight. It's gonna be a battle of the Sojourns here at the end. Nova's in deep, has to use that shot to find that safe cover. An Arc with a really clever spot. But it's the overclock coming out from Zoana first. Now realizes Arc is in that crazy off angle. Oh, and here comes Arc sliding right in the middle of the team. What confidence to take that. And it's a trade on both Sojourns. Zephyr falls going in, though, and things are looking less and less favorable here for SFU.
Oh, man, what a boot coming through from No Limit. Just completely denying the sightlines there from SFU. And now we're sub 45 seconds. And it's starting to turn into the Inferno's favor.
Nova's so nasty in the neutral with this Junker Coin. Like, that is just so clean. I think that's shinier in the top of your head, Billy.
Wow. Wow, 40% or 30% difference between the Junker Queens right now. I mean, you're going to have the sound barrier difference as well. So everything in the Inferno's favor, unless there's a kill in the neutral, it's going to come up big. There it is.
That's an Ajax! No Limit just got cut down mid-sound barrier. Zephyr does it again. The Zen Factor is alive and well here in the waning seconds. But the SFU are going to have to do it without Zephyr. They get the cap. They get the cap. It's all good. If you're an SFU fan, they have hung on for a little bit longer.
Oh. I don't think they anticipated the blade. And I mean, taking No Limit out of the animation, absolutely massive. 2-14 as we now head into the winding tunnels of Shambali. You've got a couple of tools here available to the Racoons. I mean, I'm looking for the answering Kitsune Rush from both teams.
I mean, this is a lot of map control here for SFU. One fight win, and they'll get into third point. So now we're starting to fade. They're not able to get much off of the back of that. Yeah, here comes the counter punch from the other direction. A lot of cooldowns coming out. The Inferno are pushing hard into the pack, including a Rampage that landed onto Blunder, and the tank is gone. Arc struggling to get away as well. Nah, No Limit's not letting you out of there.
Yeah, I mean, you just hold on to your sound barrier. I mean, Zaps was 1% away from getting that sound barrier off and keeping Blunder alive. However, you've got sound barrier. You've got the Rampage and the overclock coming up. We haven't seen a deflect yet that has deflected a ultimate yet. So, Zephyr, hold your deflect until you hear the line.
Are you just trying to call for like the craziest play ever here?
Yes.
That would be so amazing. Soundbarrier out from Zaps. Moving forward, and nothing would surprise me from Zephyr or this SFU squad at this point. Blunder looking to line up the perfect rampage. Has 3 in their sight. Ideally wants to wait for the Suzu. It's going to be Arc to start things off with the overclock. Hoping to just whittle down the reinforcements. Well already used and Blunder's already found 1. Here comes the rampage. It's on to 1, but Zawada has their overclock ready. The Suzu was there from the Inferno. Though they're still low, they are finding kills. And the Inferno are looking likely to stop SFU despite the heroics from Arc and Blunder.
Not quite yet. I mean, Blunder still has a commanding shot.
They're pushing forward. No, this is a 3v3 here with 24 seconds to go, but I think the Inferno have more reinforcements that have shown up. That Carnage was indeed cleaved through several, which has kept Blunder alive. The same can't be said for their Kiriko. Now with a Katsuna rush out, yeah, Blunder just ate a plethora of headshots. 10 seconds to go, and the Inferno might have just won this series.
I mean, what great tenacity from both teams. I mean, we're looking for a touch from
Boop.
Zaps. Yeah, the boop.
No,
is
it's
so
going to
big.
be Zephyr.
Blizzard.
Of course it's Zephyr. And, Zephyr almost got out of the Blizzard, but not have any of it. Arc got booped back from the slide in and cannot get close enough. A phenomenal comeback from Simon Fraser University, but the Racoons fall short in the end. ASU move up to 2-1 on the season on a thrilling finish to week 3.
Jeff, my heart is pounding right now. I got to tell you, my heart is absolutely pounding. I mean, last second holds, Zephyr versus Nova, Blunder versus everybody else. I mean, it was so damn good. Avril would have been proud of this match.
No doubt. I'm proud of these players, Billy. I am so proud of all 10 players, 11 players we saw on the battlefield today. I mean, the brand new squad, this Inferno squad, had never played together before. No competitive experience coming into this season. And yet, look at how they perform. Look at the teamwork. Look at the focus fire. When they are all on the same page, nothing can survive the Inferno onslaught.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's absolutely so good. And I want to highlight Zephyr. I mean, the swap.
Yeah, how could you not? I feel like Zephyr's still player of the match, honestly.
Yep. I 100% agree. And let's talk about Boom Diata, Precocious, their coach, believing in the swap.
Oh, that was such a good play from Nova.
Oh, God. This is, I mean, you could take your pick right now and build a reel over the plays for these players. I mean, absolutely massive out of all of them.
Z factor of Zephyr almost brought SFU back into the reverse sweep, but Stalwart, Tank, and Nova and the rest of the Inferno rise up when it matters most, heat up at the best possible moment. They hang on to win this Season 3 match. I mean, just look at all the highlights, Billy. Like, I felt like every team fight, we were just getting jaw-dropping plays.
I mean, it was absolutely incredible. God. So good. So good coming out from all these gamers. But here's the confirmation of how we got to where we are. You saw the first 2 maps go the way of the Inferno, and then the Z factor comes through on Flashpoint 3-1. They went out on New Queen Street. Kind of a gaffe there, I have to admit, from the Inferno. But then it all comes down to Shambali. And I mean, that's not a map that a lot of teams really do practice. And I think that might have been the X factor here for them. So, man, so good. So good. Absolutely jaw-dropping work from all these players.
Yeah, that's no argument. No argument from any of that. Oh, man. What a week 3 we've had, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It has been an absolute joy. Big shout out to Unfeatured and Hippie, our observer producer here for this final match tonight. And yeah, we do want to remind you, we have NECC action going on all week long across a variety of titles. So be sure to go follow the socials. They're on Instagram and YouTube, on X. They're all there for you. And we will send you updates, info. We'll keep you active on everything going on here in the league. So be sure to go drop it a follow. And, well, in the meantime, have a wonderful evening. Look out for each other in game and out. We'll see you next week. Bye, friends.